Well, the price of fuel is hiking. Passages of energy, Opiyo Wandayi, appeared before a committee yesterday, but to the shock of many, Wandayi said that he was unaware that kuna mafuta imeagizwa without following G2G program.
Now, transaction of this magnitude and for such a sensitive product, I thought the approval should be done at the highest level in the ministry, which is your office. Are you saying that you are never privy to all these things, Waziri? Thank you.
Honorable Walter, and from the outset, again, let me be very clear that since G2G framework was a framework established upon a cabinet resolution, and governed by law, as I've said earlier on, any deviation from it would naturally require a concurrence or approval by the cabinet, in my view. So, Honorable Chair, I have already stated that the method, the procurement of this particular vessel or consignment was recommended by a technical committee, and a brief on stock position and proposals for delivery of PMS was prepared and forwarded to the PS. Honorable Chair, of course, the PS in his wisdom did approve it. But Honorable Chair, when it emerged, now I think on the 30th of March, to be specific, 30th of March, it was a Monday, when it emerged that actually this particular consignment had come outside G2G, we moved very swiftly. Okay? As I told you earlier on, such a deviation from the established framework would have required high approvals. I personally moved swiftly and briefed His Excellency the President on the 30th of March, when it became very clear now that this consignment was outside G2G. It is upon that belief that actually His Excellency advised me to take the necessary steps to have the second cargo, which was en route, stopped. I did, of course, instruct the PS to take the necessary actions to comply with that directive. Okay? So to answer Honorable Owino's question in short, this would definitely have required a higher approval, such deviation from the established framework. On Honorable Barongo's question, I am saying the approval of the Cabinet Secretary was not sought. Okay? Of course, if it was sought formally, I would have acted on it one way or the other. And most definitely, I would have escalated it to His Excellency the President and, of course, the Cabinet. Remember, up to this time, we had no idea that this thing was outside G2G. Yeah. None of these guys, I think, was aware that this thing was outside G2G and the OTS as established by the law. On the question of Honorable Barongo,
this is very interesting, and some Kenyans are saying that even that fuel that wameagiza, it's fake, ni mafuta bushi. Just listen.
conspire na alijua mafuta mbaya inaingia, na ile contract yenye ilileta hiyo mafuta mbaya haikuwa contract yenye ilikuwa inafaa kufanyika. And as we move forward, hizo contracts zilikuwa 4. There are still 3 more zenye zinakuja. So hatujui kama mafuta yenye inakuja ni mbaya, hatujui hiyo contract inakaa aje. And that's why we are trying to tell you, Mr. President, try to follow the law. Let your boys follow the law so that we can avoid losing lives. I can remind you on 2024, so when nilipeleka petition pale petroleum gushi, it's not the first gushi. Kulikuwa na mbolea gushi, kulikuwa na mahindi gushi, kulikuwa na salad gushi, kila kitu ni gushi. Hii serikali ni gushi, ndio maana tupatia vitu gushi. Kwa hivyo gushi iende gushi. Sisi hakuna mahali tunaenda na wao. Hiyo Singapore pia ni gushi. Singapore is a population of 6 million people. How can 56 million people go in a country of 6 million people? Sisi hatuendi Singapore gushi.
And when all this is happening, we have a group of people that are suffering, and that is the people that I want to talk to them in this video, and that is me and you. We normally call ourselves a common Wandayi. And now guys, when the common Wandayi is suffering, before we dive in case this is your first time coming across us, kindly please consider subscribing to this channel. Whenever we shall be producing a video like this one, YouTube will automatically be giving you a notification. The whole burden is now narrowing down to common Wandayi. Why am I saying so? We have realized that the prices of fuel is now hiking at a very large amount. And in fact, today, IPRA was expecting to release some new prices of fuel. Have not checked about them, for sababu the moment I'm shooting this video, it is 2 AM. Have not checked on it, but when it will be out, I will discuss on it during the day. We have realized that the shortage of oil has been witnessed in this country. And the last I checked, we have realized that this fuel ilikuwa imeenda at a price of 200 and 450 per liter. Can you imagine? I'm doing my small business. Let me say I'm running a matatu industry. Then the price of a fuel in some of the villages, it shoots at 450. How can you imagine these people are surviving? Just try to imagine the cost of transportation in that region actually inakuwa very high. Despite the cost of transportation, we have here one thing that also just shoots the cost of living. There is no way that I can go to market, buy this cabbage at 30 bob, then I transport it at a very high transportation cost back to the market and expect me to sell it at 30 bob or rather 40 bob for me to only get a profit of 10 bob, despite the fact that all expenses zimeenda hapo. This means that the life of Kenyans is changing, and not that the life is becoming hard and changing because of their own mess, but because of the mess of the people that they were known as experts. You remember when these people were being appointed CS, World Finance, Energy, these people were termed as expert, but expert is only realizing that oil has been imported in my ministry and I'm not aware. Yosa nasema immediately I learned about that things, I rushed to brief the president. For what sake? It seems that these businesses, you are new people who are doing it. So the moment you learn that some cartel has amepitia mlango wa nyuma and has ordered this oil You rushed so that you can do what? You can block that importation. Despite blocking, why? Why are they holding fuel? To hold a fuel in any country, it means that you are making the life of these people more difficult. And when we talk about the economy in every country will thrive based on what you normally call the economy will thrive in any country based on the simple prices of fuel. Fuel powers everything. Have industries that uses big generators to generate their production. And now when everything stands or rather stops, it means that economy is also going in a very dangerous situation. What is your thought, guys? Where I sit, I tend to think that the life of we Kenyans is reaching at a place where it is unbearable kwa sababu of these small things that these politicians are doing. And I normally say that for us to get out of all these messes that we are in, I think it is about ourselves to do the best decision ever. And now, where shall we make this best decision to ensure that the cost of living inaenda chini, at least the prices of commodity goes down, and we don't witness such like scandals? I have sat down and think that the only solution, it's us not to elect a politician to manage a country. If I were, or rather if ningekuwa na uwezo, this is what I could have done in any country. Let me say in African country, or rather the whole world can buy this idea. Let it be that we have some expert in governance. Those people wenye wamesoma vizuri, das masters, those people that have PhDs in governance. So when they want to elect a president of any country, let these people sit down, like in a form of IEBC. Let this IEBC come. When this IEBC will come now, the presidential candidate will submit the nomination papers so that IEBC can approve them and now can allow them to run. So what I was suggesting for them, this expert will take an interview, individual governance interview, to these presidential candidates to ensure that the presidential candidates that are offering to Kenyans are clean. There are people who know governance, there are people who doesn't have any corruption scandal, and there are people that are ready to take the nation in the next level. But these things of every circle, someone is a thief, someone has a lot of scandals, someone amefanya mambo zingine, but now when he takes the microphone and starts to speak to the Kenyans, you change your mind, you elect a thief in to manage a country where in this part, and you are now claiming, you are now crying daily. I think this country cannot move the way it is. It is ourselves to calm down and have those experts that will submit these presidential candidates to interview so that you can know if you are giving us Ruto again. Ruto should be now passed through a very thorough interview and proven that he can now manage the economy of this country. But now what we are doing, that now it is a circle. Jamaa labda even when you try to look at his track records, it's not even giving someone who can run a country. So because now he has a followers, because now he has a influence, because now he has what it takes, you just put that person to manage the economy of a country. That cannot happen actually. We need to take economists to this power. We have to take those people who know how to manage the country, not those people who want to be the president, who want to be governors, who want to be MPs just for the sake of their businesses. We have to understand these people. when a politician is vying for certain seat, they're not just vying because of you, common mwananchi. No, when these people come, they come with a very nice rally call so that you can also buy it easily. Eh? I think the last election I followed it keenly. Ruto was 1 minute speaking, the other minute praising Mama Boga. 1 minute speaking, the other minute praising Boda Boda. 1 minute speaking, the other minute praising Kazi ni Kazi. Let's make a change there. Let's not just follow the normally called wind. We also have to have a start and say that even though this wind is going south, we are not going south, we are going west. When this wind is going west, let's go to west. When this wind is going west, let's go to south. I think there we can have good people to manage our resources. Until that time, this is MKUU Politics. I will be coming up with more interpretation of all these things that is happening across our counties.
And with that, guys, thank you for choosing Kenya Political Brief as your primary news platform, more so on politics. Kindly please share this video to a friend. If politics is your passion, this is the place you really wish to be. Kindly subscribe. Bye bye.